Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcasting network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris. And Chris, I need an old man take from you because I'm really excited now. Bring me down a little bit, buddy.
I got a hot take for you. It's not quite old man, but I got to defend my boy Drew. All right. Y'all were
Okay?
trying to tell me that he's trying to turn heel. He's not the same Drew as he was last time. But here we saw him on Monday Night Raw go out, go up to Seth Rollins man to man, eye to eye, and tell him, I want you. I want you at your best. I want you at your strongest. And I want a chance for the belt. And that's what it is. And then he kept Damian Priest and Little Dom Dom from cashing in that money in the bank. He is doing things that are right and true and the right way to do things in the WWE. How dare you guys call him a heel?
Nothing like an old man to tell us what to do and how to think. Rod, this is ridiculous.
Listen, I'm not even going to garner that with a response. I'm still floating
Wow.
too high up into the clouds after our appearance live at Gamebridge Fieldhouse for WWE Fastlane. Listen, there is no excuse, very many anyways, left in the world for a grown man to stand up and cheer. And I'll be damned if that pay-per-view didn't give me about 45 different chances to do it. And you look around and you see all of your fellow peers standing up and doing the same thing. Live wrestling is fun. And to all of you people out there that heard I was going to a live wrestling show and are like, wrestling? Haven't you gotten over that? Absolutely no. You should get back on the wrestling chain, all right? There is no better form of live entertainment or televised entertainment out there in the wash that is the media landscape of 2023. Wrestling brings it every time, and God bless it.
That's a great take, Rod. Let me tell you one thing. I love it too. And the just being there live is something different because a lot of people are panning this pay-per-view as not really much happened. I thought it was a terrific show up and down. We had a great time. There's a couple things we didn't hit on our live kind of reaction the night of. Please listen to it on the show previous to this. But the loud fireworks were amazing. My son sitting next to me had to change his pants like 3 times, scared the living hell out of him. It's such a great show. Chris, I know you watched the show on Peacock. Tell us your thoughts overall. What did you think of the show? Good, bad, in the middle? Talk to me, buddy.
Listen, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a great premium live event. I may be biased on this opinion though because I had you guys there. I wanted you guys to have fun. I was excited that you guys were there live and also had a lot of our favorite wrestlers wrestling in the premium live event. Seth Rollins, all right? We had John Cena running his storyline before he goes back to Hollywood with our boy LA Knight, which we wanted to see. Beat guys we wanted to see get beat. I mean, how can you not enjoy a premium live event like that?
You really can't. And we did have a lot of our people in that. And Rod had such a great time. He got his John Cena towel. Did not take it out when Cena came out, but that's okay. Never give up. You know, if you're gonna have a $10 towel, you might as well get the $10 John Cena Never Give Up towel, right?
Listen, I had 2 shirts that came to $90. It only made sense to throw in the
No
$10 John Cena towel and make it an even hundo at the merch table. All right. So that's exactly what we did. Vince, you got my money. I come on here and I complain about you all the time, but you got my money, Vince.
Okay, so a couple of things that you can take away from the premium live event. Number one, I thought one of the best parts pre-show was the guy behind us. While you were in the merch stand, Rod, this guy was having an entire like fight with his fiance or wife. I think it was his wife on FaceTime for like 4 rows to hear. She was angry, and I think there might be a little adultery going on in there. So a lot of stuff happened. Had to explain a couple things to my daughter. Not something you really want to do at a wrestling event. Some words, some phrasing, should I say? But other than that, not too bad. Rod, anything that you noticed out of that?
So the guy that I rolled in for when he was just literally trying to start a different chant every 40 seconds, he was even worse than that beforehand when I was gone because like as I sat down from the merch table, right, we had a good 35 minutes probably before the show was started and people were starting to filter in. And yeah, the guy you're speaking of, like every 40 seconds, he would be, let's go Cena, or he'd say AEW, or he'd say something about Biden, or he'd say something about MAGA. Like this dude was just trying his hand. He'd say, let's go Pacers, Colts. This guy was literally trying to get any chant started, and he was 0 for 47. All right, this guy could not get one single chant to get started and get any legs and go around the arena. And I frankly was happy of my fellow Hoosiers to not allow any of this Joker's chance to get started.
The amount of times, Chris King, that the word "yeah" was said, a couple 100,000, and that was just by me alone. Something else that was kind of fun. I texted this to Rod. So getting into Gainbridge Fieldhouse beforehand, they opened the doors about an hour before the show. The ticket said it was an hour and a half before the show. Regardless, we had some
Vince
some
is a liar.
libations.
Vince lied again.
And the restaurant down the street from Taxman Brewery is down the block from Gainbridge. We walk out of the doors, and the line to get in on our side is to Taxman. We're talking a good, probably block and a half.
Close to 2 blocks. I'd say
there.
we were in that line for a good 30 minutes.
Yeah, but we were talking to a couple in front of us. Nice couple, just talking to the kids, saying, "Hey, what's going on?" Chris King, that couple was a foot and a half away from me at the Colts game in the 600 section, sitting in seats like right next to us. How crazy is that?
That is the beauty of Indiana, all right? I can go to an IU basketball game, sit randomly next to a guy from a ticket I bought from a scalper. There is a good chance I'm going to run into him at Fort Wayne, Indiana, 2 weeks later at Lowe's. That's why the Hoosier State's great.
At Lowe's, I love it. You totally
Oh.
wanted to say Showgirls 1, 2, or 3, and then you thought better of it and said Lowe's.
Hey, he gets the senior discount at Showgirls. Remember that. So
Why is Fort Wayne the strip club capital of Indiana? Does anyone have an idea of why Fort Wayne decided to be the strip club capital of Indiana? Because you can't get it there's not even as many strip clubs in Indianapolis as there are in Fort Wayne. Like, what's going on over there, Jimmy? You're a strip club expert.
Sure. Well, I think the strip clubs in Indianapolis get audited by the police a lot, and they get liquor licenses taken away all the time. Maybe Fort Wayne, they don't do
Listen,
that.
that's
They
not
have to have
it.
something to do.
Fort Wayne's an industrial, blue collar, automotive, workers' man type town. That's where you see strip clubs get proliferated more. That's why they're in Fort Wayne.
Did you
I
say
need to look up
workers, man? Did you say workers, man?
They're men. They're workers, man. They're workers, man. All right, Chris King talked about Raw. We're going to talk a little bit about Raw here, and then we're going to kind of see where we're going. But it looks like Seth Rollins not retiring. I know, Rod, you were really nervous about that. Someone who's been at the top of their game for the past couple of years, not going to retire, but he is going to face Drew McIntyre at Saudi Arabia. McIntyre does not have very good luck at main events outside of the United States in championship matches. Are you worried at all that McIntyre is going to take this belt from your boy, Seth freaking Rollins?
So you're asking me if I'm worried about Drew McIntyre.
Okay. Chris King, why should Rod be worried about Drew McIntyre?
This is his push. He's out there every week, multiple shows. He's getting a push. We know Seth is going to lose this title soon. Chances are we're not going to see Roman, of course, lose the title if he happens to wrestle a Crown Jewel. But we're going to see a title change hands at Crown Jewel. It may be temporary. Maybe there's a cash-in that goes on during this match. But it's Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior. You got to be worried about him. Watch your tone, Rod.
No, I'm not worried about the Scottish Warrior because it's not his time. What sense does it make for Drew McIntyre to all of a sudden win this belt? He's got a full-fledged go heel. So the thing that makes him even more full-fledged go heel is he loses here again and he starts boiling with even more hatred and even more envy. And then he's 100% stone cold blue blood heel, and you're going to come on this podcast and contort and bend yourself over backwards week after week trying to defend this man, and I'm going to love the verbal gymnastics that you are going to try to attempt. But what's going to happen is your legs are going to spread too wide at one point and you're going to rack yourself on the pommel horse.
I got two things to say for you. One, if they really wanted him to go full heel, that Raw wouldn't have happened like it did with him and Seth Rollins. Two, you guys have taught me one thing, and it's never expect the WWE to do what is the most logical choice.
Listen, wait a minute, Jimmy. Are we positive that Chris understands what a face and a heel are? Because we talk all the time that Chris is just new back to wrestling. Are we positive that he knows what a heel is? Because for him to sit here and say that Drew McIntyre was not doing heel behavior on Monday Night Raw, I'm not sure he knows the definition, Jim.
It's only a lie if you believe it, right? So, Chris King, listen, Raw is the perfect time to continue the heel transformation for Drew McIntyre because let me tell you, he thinks he's right. And honestly, he's saying everything that is right. But the thing, though, Chris, that he says that's going to make him a heel is he is staying out of other people's business. Well, guess what's going to happen when he loses again and he then starts getting into other people's business, maybe causing Seth Rollins to lose a tag team match or a disqualification. He's going to start doing the things that he is against, which heretofore makes him a heel.
Boom.
I don't see it happening.
And with that, you've been listening to no. I know, Chris. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts, doesn't it? It hurts, doesn't it?
No, again, Jimmy, he should be embracing this. The only chance Drew has at putting the gold around his waist that Chris thinks he has a shot at right now is if he becomes heel. You should be embracing this, Chris.
Drew can do no wrong in my eyes, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Just like LA Knight can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah. Speaking of doing no wrong, Cody Rhodes has been on fire lately, and he is now one half of the tag team champions. However, Rod, your boy Michael Cole is going after him, saying, "What's the story? You haven't finished the story. Is this the end of the story? How about the story? Is it over yet? Where are they going with this?"
That's a very good question. I also thought to myself, should I start to extrapolate from the fact that we have put Michael Cole in a ring now on two different shows, right? We've had him in the ring on SmackDown doing his thing, and then we've had him in the ring on Raw now doing his thing. Actually, we haven't had him in the ring on SmackDown yet. Maybe they'll bring him out on, but it's two Raw shows in a row, right? Because it was Seth Rollins giving him his flowers, and now him going at Cody. I don't know. I wonder if maybe Michael Cole will be the catalyst that somehow splits apart Cody and Jay, right? Because that's clearly what's going to happen. Something nefarious is going to happen to one of them. Somebody's not going to be paying attention. They're going to lose the belt. And then that's going to launch us into more of Cody finishing the story. So maybe Cole is the catalyst that brings about the friction that will end Cody and Jay. And excuse me there. I got a little gravelly like I was underwater.
Yeah, I think so because, Kevin Owens is going to be right. Kevin Owens can do no wrong in my mind. Kevin Owens will be right eventually. Something's going to happen where they're going to break up. But Chris King, do you see Cody Rhodes going to WrestleMania to face Roman Reigns once again? Or is The Rock or someone else going to rain on his parade?
I think they haven't even decided who might go there yet. I don't see Cody going against Roman yet again. It does make me nervous that they're pushing LA Knight towards his feud with the Bloodline. I think they may be pushing him against Roman maybe too quickly. I don't see that lasting until WrestleMania. So I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe it ends up being a Damian Priest type battle. I don't know.
Why would the WWE ever give us the same exact main event at two straight WrestleManias, Jimmy? They've never done that before. They would never do that, right? Vince doesn't like to repeat things at all. There's no way that could possibly happen.
Well, I think you've got to remember, though, Vince McMahon, as according to reports recently, is out 99.9% of creative. It is all Triple H now. It's Paul Levesque. But there's that 0.1% though, Rod.
Listen, you are the world's biggest Vince skeptic, all right? If we were on video right now, all of our faithful listeners would have been able to see just the gleam and the glint in your eye where you could almost you couldn't even get that phrase out. You don't fully believe that at all. I would love to believe that because we have strong evidence of Triple H being knocked out at this creative thing. And some of the best times WWE's had in the recent year and a half, last 2 years were because of Triple H. But you and I both know Vincent Kennedy throws those big iron balls of his around all over the place. And according to other stories that have come out recently, Vince thinks he's going to be 125 years old.
Yeah,
So he's
let's
going to be around
go.
for a long time.
Hey, for our listeners here, if you have not watched NXT and LA Knight being the special guest referee and the crowd chanting LA Knight, yeah, and LA Knight walking around the ring watching the match but doing his little hand gestures for the LA Knight, yeah, it's something special. LA Knight, yeah, is fantastic, and that would not have happened under Vince McMahon. He would still be a man. Actually, he probably would be back in NXT because McMahon doesn't think he can get over. But who can get over? We've got Ricochet. We've got Shinsuke Nakamura going to have a matchup next week because Ricochet had a little fight after the triple threat match where Bronson Reed, gentlemen, is going against Gunther next week for the Intercontinental Championship. Meat versus meat. Chris, who you got next week?
I still see them giving it to Gunther. I don't see him losing yet, at least not to somebody like Bronson. It's nice that they're giving Bronson this little push. He's definitely got some skill, and he is a big dude, so it'll be a good match, but that's because you got Gunther in the ring.
Rod, Gable, still in there. Didn't lose, didn't win.
I was gonna say, is he though? Is he? I mean, I feel like that's literally just them dangling the Gable carrot, right? Like Gable's so small, you can almost hold him up the way you can a carrot. So like they know that there's guys out there like me that are like, yes, Gable, let's go, come on, and we're still holding on to that little bit of hope that they're gonna let Chad Gable put some individual gold around his waist because they've let him be a tag team champion, but let the man put some in. And no, of course, it's not gonna happen. And Bronson Reed's not gonna beat Gunther. Gunther is going to continue as your Intercontinental Champion. At this point, Jimmy, I see him continue as the Intercontinental Champion all the way up to WrestleMania again. Why not? What else are you going to do? We only got 2 pay-per-views before then, 3 maybe.
So here's my question, though. That's a good point. Are you going to end both streaks at WrestleMania? Or is Gunther's streak going to be overshadowed by the Cody Rhodes win? Let's say Drew McIntyre beats Gunther. Okay, he's not going to, but let's just say that happens at WrestleMania. Are people going to care as much if it happened at Survivor Series or even the Royal Rumble?
I have a feeling that what you'll notice is these things will be able to run concurrently, right? Like I think once Gunther starts building on itself the way that Roman has, right? And we start getting closer to all of those days, you're going to then see people just again even more losing their minds, right? Like guys are going to be going completely ballistic by the time WrestleMania rolls around. If we have Gunther and Roman Reigns both still sitting on the titles, right? Like they're literally still like main eventing WrestleMania as champions. Guys will be losing their minds. And when they finally do get beat, right? The WWE that loves to tell history, that loves to make Michael Cole and Graves and the Kevin Patrick fire off dudes' resumes, right? So people that are just coming on, isn't that the British?
No, it is. Yeah. No, you're right. Kevin Patrick.
And what better, right? What better for somebody to be able to be referred to for the next couple of months as the one who took down the historic blank, the one who took down the historic blank, right? You have 2 new guys that you can shoot off like rockets because they took down Gunther and they took down Roman Reigns, guys that were the best modern era Intercontinental and Universal Champions the WWE scene.
I could see the WWE also using this as a great marketing tool as well. WrestleMania is 2 nights. First night, IC title goes. Gunther loses it to someone. Second night, main event, Roman loses it to someone. And it's billed as one of the greatest, most surprising WrestleManias ever because you have these 2 record-breaking belt holders lose in the same WrestleMania.
Jimmy, what if we even set it up that they're going down? That's the WrestleMania card. If they beat somebody, they have to turn around and fight again. What if we just set that up, right? Like, let's just say these belts are going down tonight. We start telling a story where Triple H comes out,
no
right?
matter
like
what, I don't care.
A bit of a corporation thing again, you know what I mean? And they're like, you know what? Done. Roman, you are done. We're figuring this out. You're going to start off the day by wrestling AJ Styles, and the phenomenal one's got to pop out, right? And AJ Styles will go down, and then somebody else takes him. I don't know. It would just be cool
matches.
To
I like
maybe
it.
Figure out a way that like history will be made, history goes down, history dies, something, right? With the WrestleMania tagline.
Or gentlemen, let's go. Gunther, Roman Reigns, title for title, main event of WrestleMania, both streaks on the line. It's not going to happen, but it's a nice thought.
I don't think I like that one as much as I like Rod's idea because then they'd give all the belts to Roman, and I'd hate that even more.
Oh
That would
no,
be so
Gunther's got
awesome
it
though
all.
if Roman literally like Paul Heyman had to like just carry it around like the way people are spinning plates on those wooden dowel rods. If Paul Heyman had to just carry around all of Roman's belts on those, that would be incredible.
That's speaking of belts. This is just a little aside, but I have to admit that Damian Priest is the only guy out there that wears two belts correctly all the time.
Oh, I like that under the belt thing. Yeah, I like that. I buy that. Okay. Yeah, still have two belts. I don't like that because we can just have let's just have more tag team champions. Why not? Because it works so good for all the other ones. Speaking about some champions, gentlemen, we do have Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler next week. Non-title match. It's going to be hard hitting. Baszler stood up on top this week, which of course means Rod, she going down next week.
Yeah, she is. And you know what? Shout out to our guy, the Cleveland Crippler, Mark Allen. All right. He is a huge Shayna Baszler guy. I have broke bad against Shayna Baszler many times and will probably do it again in the future. But I'll tell you what, Jimmy, you have warned me about this. When they can tell a good story with Baszler and she's in the ring with somebody who can wrestle, she is a badass. And this worked, right? This worked. The only way I'm going to take a heaping portion of Shayna Baszler is with this kind of character and this kind of match, where I actually believe that the person Shayna Baszler is going against will be able to stand up against her. And I actually then believe because Shayna Baszler is so tough and such a badass that she could actually take down Rhea Ripley. So I enjoyed Shayna Baszler for the first time in probably 3 calendar years, Jimmy.
Okay, I like that. Congratulations, Rod. You're opening your eyes. I appreciate that. We did have that Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez match that, whew, that was a tough one, but we did have a nice power bomb. That was kind of cool. No, Rod just fell asleep.
No, I was
Chris?
going to let Chris
Oh.
go because it's always just me going because I've gone on
Yeah.
about Raquel Rodriguez before as well. Like, I just don't know what we're doing with her. The smiling has got to stop. She's got the body. She
She's
seems to be
happy.
able to have the wrestling skill. The smiling's got to stop. We need to figure out something to do with her, Jimmy, because this is just a complete waste of her, anyway, perceived talent.
Chris, as someone else who smiles all the time, what are you thinking about that?
I don't have as much animosity towards her as
I
what
don't know.
Rod does, but I will say this: it's nice to see them actually get a few different women that I believe could give Rhea Ripley a run for her money. All right, we've been asking for that for months, and here we are. There's more than just Rodriguez. There's Nia Jax now, and now Shayna Baszler. So that's believable to me. I can see these storylines progress and see these as actual competition to Rhea.
So we've
And listen,
seen.
don't let Chris
Oh, go
twist
ahead.
my words around. I am pro Raquel Rodriguez.
No
They need
question.
to stop making her smile.
Yeah, she's a badass. Don't make her smile. We have started to see this past week a few more women appear on the program. We've had Natty Bacalin, Zia Lee. We've had a couple other women that I can't think of right now, but we've had a couple other women show
Tegan
up.
Knox. Tegan Knox had
Tegan Knox and Becky Lynch had a good matchup. Uh, the WWE has gotten a little heat, a little bit of having, hey, there's one women's match here, there's one women's match there. We need to build that up a little bit more, the division. We have two we have strong champions right now all over. We really do have strong champions. And since we have two championships, we have to focus on that. And a lot of the women are in that. The tag team champions aren't as focused upon, but still, I don't know. We gotta see what's going on. We have the talent. We just need to give them a little bit more time.
Well, they're literally, I mean, Jimmy, they literally are cooking up those witches, right? Like they're cooking up those witches to be a big deal and come back and win the tag belts from old Piper Niven and my girl Chelsea Green, right? That's clearly what we're doing with those two. I don't know who they are, but they're like they're the whole cauldron and thing. They got the black eye
Yeah.
makeup on. They're doing the spells.
I really really hope they get those belts off and Chelsea Green then kind of transforms a little bit and gets back to a winning stage because Chelsea Green has the look, is a good wrestler, and has the mic skills, and she's got a great character in that crazy bride that she's done in the past. So she's got it. It's just right now she's in that she's in that crappy, just, hey, we got to beat her all the time. And that sucks. That really does suck. But she's good.
I am way pro Chelsea Green. Chris is a hater of Chelsea Green, but I am pro Chelsea Green.
I mean, all they've done is chuck her out to lose lately. We really haven't even seen them fight a tag match. It's always Chelsea running her mouth, getting beat up, and rinse repeat.
Chris, I'm really glad you brought that perspective up because you are someone who just watches the television product. You're not someone who is online every single day looking at all the news sites, and you don't have all that vast history. And I appreciate that because someone like Chelsea Green to you is just a jobber, and you don't know that she actually does have a lot to offer. We're just not seeing it yet. And again, not everyone can win every match, not everyone can be champion. So she will hopefully get a turn coming up soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least give her more tag matches. I mean, she is the tag.
At least you give the tag team champion some tag matches.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah, that would
just see some
actually-
more of that.
That would be a good idea. I'm with Chris on that one. I don't often agree with Chris, but I'm with him on that one. Have the tag team champions actually wrestle.
That's really funny. So next week we are going to have we're going to talk about ratings a little bit because tonight, Tuesday, we had WWE NXT versus AEW Dynamite head to head, and both shows were jam packed. AEW has had at least one title change already. NXT has had LA Knight, John Cena, Asuka, The Undertaker. We're recording this before it ends, so The Undertaker's going to do something. For those of you who have watched it last night, I'm sure it was fantastic, or he just came out and said, rest in peace, and then everything was fine.
I bet his eyes rolled back at one point, Jimmy. I bet his eyes rolled back.
How dare you? How dare you say that? But another really fun week of wrestling here. It's one of the best times to be in wrestling and just watching wrestling. We have the talent. We have some storylines. Can't wait to see SmackDown this week just to see where the Roman Reigns angle is going, because I'm not going to lie, gentlemen, on Friday, Roman Reigns may be talking and we may hear those 3 words, L.A. Knight. Maybe 4. Yeah! And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcasting network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod.
Jimmy really does know his wrestling takes, but he just proved to you right there that he's not a mathematist. You don't come to us for mathematist here at the Morgan Podcasting Network on the Yeah We Know podcast. You come to us for wrestling takes, and you come to us for old man takes out of the guy out of North Carolina with some ridiculous stuff. Drew McIntyre's going to be bad, Chris. Embrace it. It's the spooky season. It's okay.
Goodbye, net. Yeah.
Shut up, Rod.